Hi, beloved. You're first. I'm surprised you're not first, usually. Hi, Alicia. How are you feeling tonight? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Phil. Welcome. Hi, Anna. I am here. Yay. Hi, Angel. Welcome. We're happy to have you. Hi, Honeybee. How are you feeling tonight? It's good to see you again. How's everybody feeling? Hi, Amy. Good to see you again. Much better now? Good, good. Hopefully that just gets better and better too. Am I getting any retrograde residue? It's probably likely. It's been such a interesting few months that it's hard to tell. Like the days kind of all blend together. 1 second, I might freeze up temporarily while I change my... I don't know if I'm back yet. Probably not back. It shows that my little connection is red, but I'm back on mine. Woohoo! I gotta update those little emojis too. Is I can't remember what they call them. Is Tavi in the house? Hey, what's up, only bangers? What's up, brother? I don't know if you accidentally came in or not, but hi, Kayla. How are you feeling? It's good to see you again, sister. Happy Friday. How's everybody feeling this week? How was everybody's week? I would love to hear how everybody's feeling after a really interesting week energetically. One thing is that came through on the 23rd, around the 23rd, is what we would identify as the authentic Lion's Gate, which is a really powerful alignment that connects us, allows access through a specific alignment of this to essentially connect deeper with the 10th, 11th, and 12th gates. So just like there are everything internally is also external too, right? So as above, so below, as within, so throughout. We're a reflection of the stars. And so when there's certain alignments that take place through our sun, then we have access to different types of keys, codes, and instruction sets. So access to certain blueprints, which is a really beautiful thing to take advantage of when we're aware of it. Most people identify Lion's Gate on 8/8, which is great and all, but it's not necessarily aligned with the date on a calendar. A lot of us will just kind of jump on board when it comes to that stuff, and that's not saying that it's not valuable and there's not amazing energies to be taken advantage of at the early August. There's actually a magnetic wave that comes through at the beginning of August that is something that I think a lot of groups and practitioners surf as they move through the Lion's Gate events. So what we're doing tonight eventually is we're going to be taking advantage of this Lion's Gate opening, and it stays open for a little bit. I'm honestly not fully sure of how long these energies are going to be available to us through this particular alignment, but I still wanted to jump on and set the intention that we could tap into the quantum field and utilize this alignment. So we're going to be doing a transmission that's specifically for subscribers. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be like spillover for everybody else that's in the container as well. So similar to the way that we do the individual transmissions, it's going to be similar in that way. So you can stick around even if you're not a subscriber, but this is a way for us to give back for all the love that we receive from subscribers. And there's still time too. If you want to subscribe, then you can do so. It's not necessary, of course, but even anytime that you become a subscriber, so the way that it's going to be encoded is anytime that you become a subscriber, you'll have access to utilize this transmission. So this transmission is going to be posted after words on YouTube too. So you'll be able to watch the live, and you can go back to the transmission if you decide to subscribe at some point. Just know that activates you for certain transmissions that we're going to be setting up. So when you're a subscriber, you have access, you essentially have the keys to utilize these different codes. So, but yeah, definitely not necessary by any means, just a way to give back. But of course, we're going to do group healings tonight because this is Friday Night Lights, so we are going to get some different suggestions for intentions and do some group activations, healings, whatever comes through, which is always fun. Oh, Elena's, yeah, she had an eye issue. Sorry, I was missing comments, so I'm going to look back real quick. I was just looking at articles about what is going on up there when I received your invite. Missed that. Everyone putting their energy into eight makes it powerful. Absolutely, yes, absolutely, and yeah, this definitely doesn't take away from all of the events that we do for 8-8 by any means. Like especially as the powerful beings that we are, when we all set our intentions together and we focus on a certain idea, especially when that's spreading love, then it's only valuable, right? But it's just one of those things that it's time to kind of like really like bring more awareness to these ideas, because it's a very specific alignment. It's a very powerful alignment. So I think if we have that awareness of when it actually is, then we can actually do a lot more powerful work. And it's only going to serve us as a collective to more understand how the external architecture works, because it's a reflection of our internal systems too. Left arm numbness, is that a chronic thing, or is that something that's just coming up, Susan? But stick around, we may be able to assist with that. The direct alignment was on the 23rd, but it's still, the energies are still open. So it's actually a specific alignment. So this is based on star-based, sun-based astrology. So it's when our sun goes conjunct with Regulus, which is what people call the heart of the lion, which is in Leo, and then Sirius is conjuncts with Rigel, or Rigel, I don't know how to pronounce that, in Orion. So it's a very specific alignment that allows access to Lyra, which is where the 10th, 11th, and 12th stargates are connected to. So it allows for these instruction sets to be accessed. So and again, that's not taking away from what people identify as, Lionsgate on 8-8, but these things aren't connected to a calendar date. But when we focus all of our intentions together and we set up these ideas, there's so much still to be done. But yeah. Yeah, so tonight, somebody asked about it being on the 23rd. So we still have access to these energies currently. So that's why we're going to do a transmission here in a little bit for subscribers. So if you're a subscriber, you will have the keys activation to receive the transmission. But there's still going to be lots of energetic spillover for everyone, so it's worth hanging out. And we're going to do free group healings and stuff too. Liz says, I want to learn how to protect my own energy. Great thing to want to learn. I would, first of all, try not to hold too tight onto the concept of protection, because when we use the term protection, it implies attack. Oh, thank you, Kathleen, right? Because it's an energetic thing. I know it's subtle, but there's an actual energetic aspect to it when we say we're protecting ourselves from something, because it implies that we need to be defensive. So first, I would try to just shift that term. I like to use the term gridding, or you can even use armoring, because you don't have to be defensive. If you're wearing armor, you can look like a badass. But grids is what I like to, that's how I like to term it. And really, all it is doing is essentially keeping in what's right for you and keeping out what's not right for you. And you can do this just with your imagination and intending to have certain structures of certain frequencies. So a really, really simple one to just hold in what's right for you is to open up your heart consciously, just with your imagination, crack open, imagine a small light in the center of your chest and grow it out. Really try to feel it. Try to grow it out and fill your chest. and imagine it filling your whole chest, because you'll start to actually feel a sensation, most likely, where you'll feel like a pressure, or it may feel temperature change or tingles or whatever it is, and you fill your chest up with this light, your own signature love frequency. And then you imagine a soccer ball shape, or it can even be a shape like this, but I like a soccer ball shape, which is what we call a truncated icosahedron. And you just put silver mirrors on the outside of that structure and on the inside. So it's like a structure kind of like this, where there's mirrors made of silver. I like to use chrome mirrors because those chromium and silver are healing frequencies. So what that does is it reflects out things that are not right for you with a healing frequency as well. And then it's also keeping in what is right for you in your field. It's a really simple one. Then you just expand with your imagination, with your intentions, you expand that structure, expand your heart so that it goes all the way around your energy field. You can just imagine it at least going past where your hands are. So that's a really simple one that you want to do a few times a day, honestly. The more you use these tools, the stronger they become, and that they kind of like solidify longer in the field. But that's a really simple one. You can also, get creative. Like, you can be really creative. You can imagine yourself in like an Iron Man suit, and the more like fun you have with it, the stronger it often becomes. But also using your awareness of sacred geometry can make a big difference. That's why I use that soccer ball shape, because it fits really nicely inside of our structures. So our physical body is a structure, but we also have these other geometrical structures that extend outside of us. And things fit really, they nest in really nicely, and so that's a good shape for that. You might look into the idea of a diamond pillar. That is a structure that I really suggest for people. It's part of our organic architecture, our diamond light body, which is connected to our original angelic blueprint, which is a base 12 system. So a lot of things that we observe currently are base 10, uses like base 10 math and base 10 geometry. So we're moving into a phase, we're really moving back into the what would you call it? The operating system that supports our base 12 code, which is what we would identify as organic, which is what we would interface with our 12-strand DNA. So yeah, did that make sense? You can search for that. If you look up on TikTok, you can search like my username and search for like shield, and you'll have some options that pop up as well. But I actually need to make a new shielding tech. I've been meaning to, and life has happened. But yeah, you can get creative. You can just imagine, just feel. So if you're really, what happens is we get defensive. So we are like, if we were owning our energy and we're just like, pushing our energy out, things aren't going to mess with us so much. So like a big thing for me, I'm very sensitive. I'm what people might label as clairsentient, which just means I feel energy very tangibly. Other people might identify as an empath. So with us, we feel so much. A highly sensitive person, if you want to call it that, we feel so much. So for a while, when I was like adjusting to being so sensitive, I wanted to recluse. I didn't want to like leave my house because I would just feel everything. It was overwhelming, like going shopping at the store, going, at Costco or Walmart or wherever we were going. It was just like, it was so much. But it really changed when I flipped my perspective, and instead of like feeling like I'm victim to my environment, I changed it to being like, no, I'm a badass. Like, my energy is what's going to affect where I go, not other things, not other energies. So when I go into a grocery store, I got my chest open, my chest is out, and I'm slinging coast and shift out energies that are not right for me. If things come in my field, I'm clearing them up. And that makes a huge, huge difference. So you're not in that defensive energy. You're in your own energy, and you feel like a badass. So that's, that can be really helpful you can also use other tools too. So that's one way to do it, through your imagination, like through your mental, the mental side of things. But you can also anchor things in with the physical too. So some jewelry can be really helpful. So some jewelry is really good about clearing out energies that are considered negative. So like this is what we're starting to make these and sell these, which is shungite. So the black stone is shungite, and then we have these like silver spacers, And then we've got copper and selenite. And this is a really powerful little, it's a healing device, but it also helps protect our energy and move the energy as well. Because shungite is a mostly carbon stone. It's black. And it has those soccer ball shapes that I mentioned before, those truncated icosahedrons. Mainstream science refers to them as fullerenes or even buckyballs. So mainstream science is trying to figure out the power of these structures because there's a lot that they know that they can do theoretically with these structures that they're trying to apply to like energy and such. And from an energetic perspective, we understand why they see it that way and they're trying to make these new technologies with it. But it has those little soccer ball shapes in it. And what it does is it takes negative frequencies. So a negative frequency would be an energy that has a counterclockwise spin on it, right? So it pulls energy from things. Or things will have a discordant frequency so that we lose our life force integrity through it. So these little structures in it will take that counterclockwise spin and it will neutralize it. It'll spin it clockwise. So it actually protects you from these pulling energies, things that would siphon energy from you. So when you mix it though with silver, it actually creates a healing field. So silver is a healing frequency. That's why it was worth, it was used as currency and people would eat with silverware, actual silverware, because it's antibacterial. There's like colloidal silver is used in healing. It's a really powerful healing frequency. So when you mix those two together, it actually starts to create a healing field. And we make, EMF protection devices using silver and shungite. You can make healing creams. You can do all sorts of awesome stuff with it when you mix those two frequencies together. And then you add selenite. Well, I always forget the name. I don't know if it's satin spar, but people call it, mainstream crystal people call it selenite. But it's just a white stone, but it's got a really high vibration to it. And it's like a liquid white light type stone, which clears and also charges, but it helps to move energy. So it's almost like you got the yin yang too. So you got the black stone, which never needs to be cleansed. It's grounding as well, but mixed with silver and then mixed with selenite, it actually starts to create a really powerful healing field. And then the copper is also known to be a good healing metal, but it also is well known to move life force energy. So it moves the energy through. So anyway, I felt like it was a good segue to talk about. I need to fix the satin spar. That's probably what. Yep. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm going to be selling those. But you can also find other products. That it's known out there that silver and shungite together. You can do some really cool stuff with it. But soon we'll have those out if anybody wants to order some. If you do want some, just shoot me a message because I'm having some trouble with the website. I'm a new online e-commerce, the online shop that's new to me, and so we're having some issues there. But if you're interested, just shoot me a message. They're made to order, and we put codes in them as well. So if you like codes, we're gonna put some love in them, and we can put your own intentions into it as well. But just shoot me a message. Otherwise, I'd refer you to the website, but we're having issues which I need to fix. I should have done that before I got on. But yeah, just shoot me a message. Great sales pitch. I mean, honestly, the reason why I've made the bracelets is because I wanted it for myself. And I figure, why not make more? It's not a big deal to do, especially, once you know how this stuff works. So, I mean, I have silver and shungite products everywhere. Like I put shungite in my water. I have shungite and silver. There's like little water beads. So what's great about shungite is it's such an energetic tool that when you take 3 pieces of shungite together and you add them together, it actually creates it exponentiates the field for it. So when you weave silver, as much pure silver as you can, weave that together with the 3 beads of the shungite, it cleanses your water too. It clears your water and charges it. So yeah, they're super cool stuff. I love it because I look at stones as technology. I look at all these things as like energetic devices. So for me, it's all about the functionality. Like that's why I mean, it's a really, really powerful combination. You make jewelry, but not with light codes. I'm sure you do. If you're putting love into your jewelry, which I'm sure you are, then there's probably light codes in it. You know, light codes just sounds like a fancy term. I mean, it can't be fancy, but really, you know, love is a code too. Which is beautiful about, you know, people that make jewelry and they make their own products, because you're gonna put your own energetic spin on whatever it is that you're gonna create, right? That's what's beautiful about art. It's that got your own signature frequency that carries on, and people feel that. Like we're moving into a time where that's gonna be felt when people maybe don't recognize it, you know, directly, but it's something that we feel, and people are gonna be tapping more into their intuition. And so the more love that you put into the things that you make, you know, it's gonna be reciprocated. You know, the universe is gonna send you more people that are in alignment. Yeah, sharing the love. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Elena, for doing that. I just received a piece of moldavite as a gift. Can't wait to chat with this next full moon. Yeah, moldavite's a super powerful stone. And I actually have some gifts that I received that I need to make some reviews on. I've got my butt kicked so much the last few months that I wanted to be in the right energy when I talked about them and gave a shout out. But people put their love into these devices because they're energy devices. You know, crystals, what makes crystals so special and why people assign these properties to them is because the crystalline matrix of it, the sacred geometry of the stone, holds certain frequencies in that matrix. So that's why certain stones can have, you know, be more for healing, or they can, you know, they're better for moving energy, is because it's like a conscious technology, which is beautiful, and you can program them. So even these like stones, like these ones, you know, these are quartz, rose quartz, and what they would call citrine, but I'm pretty sure it's heat treated quartz. Quartz is really good about holding data. So you put those light codes into it and it's going to hold it into that matrix. So you can put any intention into them. You know, you just get familiar with how to clear them and charge them and program them. It's pieces of technology. And then I'll just mention real quick before we do some group healings, is I will do a little pitch for my class. So we have a class this Sunday. So the class is Feeler to Healer. So this coming Sunday, the 27th, and it's a all-around energy healing class that, like, I'm trying not to overwhelm it with so much stuff because I want to like give everything into it, but it's about practical energy healing techniques. So this is like really designed for self-healing, and I'll be sharing tools, techniques, like the philosophies of how I got into energy healing work, and they're just really, really simple techniques that anybody can use, and it's just going to be full of these different tools. So a lot of it's feeling based, so that's why we call it Feeler to Healers, because I'm clear. My main way of interfacing with spirit, with energy, is I'm clairsentient, so I'm a feeler. And so as feelers, we oftentimes are kind of left out of how people usually teach energy healing. I mean, there's usually a lot of imagination that's involved, or, you know, those type of ideas. So this is really a lot of feeling techniques, because that's really where you want to go anyway, is you want to trigger the feeling. And we got a group. It's going to have a group healing in the beginning. It's going to have an activation, so it's going to have an upgrade process too, for upgrading people's clairsentience. The activation is designed to bring through your own inner healer, right? So it's meant to organically bring to the surface organically bring to the surface your inner gnosis as a healer. So whatever it is that would work for you, that's going to bring those things up into your reality more. So it's like one of those things that you really want to keep an eye out for synchronicities to pop up, because a lot of the things that I'm going to be sharing are things that came to me through the techniques that I'm going to be sharing in the class. So meditation techniques that I'm going to share that worked really well for, you know, getting to that state where these things just naturally come into your awareness and you try them and they work. And so we're going to do breathing techniques that are going to be shared, meditation techniques, energy healing 101, emotional sources for, you know, issues that we have, dis-ease in the body. We're going to go into we're going to share some mudras, and just tons of techniques, just a lot of cool stuff. And then of course it's interactive too. So it's over Zoom, so you can ask questions, you know, you can introduce yourself, and, you know, we try to make it fun. But really I got a whole bunch of stuff I just want to share. So if you want some new techniques and some new tools, that's there for you if you want. They'll have a PDF. It's going to be recorded, so you can go back and watch the recording if you missed stuff or you didn't, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, sales pitch is not my thing. Not my thing. But yeah, if you're interested, that will be this Sunday. Link in the bio for information on that. Let's sling some magic. Too much talking. Molly asked questions. Should I grab my crystals for when you do a healing to absorb the frequencies? I would recommend yes, Molly. That's what I do. So I have my favorite crystal that I keep with me. I have a specific Lemurian quartz. So this Lemurian quartz is really known to be able to hold information really well. So I have a Lemurian quartz crystal that I keep with me when I do really big transmissions, activations, those type of ideas. And so now it's just packed full of these codes, and it's really fun to watch over time, because the stones will clear themselves. They start to change their the shade, and they just feel awesome. It's just you'll start. It builds character in the stone. So I would say if it feels right for you, yeah, give it a go. What beads am I wearing? These ones are some type of jasper. I'm not really sure. I got it when I was traveling in Virginia. And then I've got citrine and rose quartz with silver plated spacers and copper. Those are my beads right now. All right, so what I think we're going to do right off the bat is that I'm going to get some intentions for healing. So let's do some group healing, but I'm going to ask for subscribers' recommendations for what we should do for the intentions for these transmissions. So it can be something super specific, specific if you'd like. If it's left shoulder, I want left shoulder healing, or let's do a third eye activation, or let's do, releasing fear. Whatever it is, feel free to give it a shout out. I'm first going to ask from subscribers only, and then I'm sure there'll be some open spaces, and then we'll get some recommendations from everybody else in the group, and then I'm going to write them out and use a pendulum to choose which ones we are going to do first, and then we sling some magic. Thank you. Thank you, Last in Space. All right, do we have any questions? Anything anybody wants to share before we go? Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm not writing stuff down yet. 1 second. I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only first, and then I will switch it back. So we'll make sure we get all the subscribers' recommendations first. So 1 second. Let me switch it over to subscriber only. All right. Sweet. Let us do this. So we got eyes. I see eyes. Feel free to give a shout out for your intentions. So I saw eyes, uterine fibroids. 1 second. Okay. Depression, sadness, releasing. Eyes, more eyes. Interesting. Nausea. Okay. Nausea, inflammation. What else we got here? Hi, Boo. Yes, 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 yeah. Releasing fear. Just blocks. We'll just do residual blocks. Somebody subscribed. Thank you. Who subscribed? I missed it. Molly, thank you for subscribing. Yay! Welcome to the club. And thank you for subscribing, Adrian. Woohoo! We'll give you some time to go ahead and make your recommendations. So see, this is perfect. So from Rachel here, we've got, oh no, Stace, my pencil broke. I don't have any more. Why does that happen? Can you grab me a pencil? Shoot. All those pens and pencils that we got from the little giveaway thing, none of them work. No wonder they were thrown away. Huh? That's perfect. Thank you.
Just leave it up there.
I know, right? Okay. So I want to make sure I don't miss this. So Rachel says L5. L5 lumbar disc. Sacral, and then C2. C6. So we'll do cervical and then lumbar as two separate things. Right hand. Oh, there was something I thought about you the other day, Anna. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a big pain related to what you go through. So back pain. Oh man, I gotta remember. I'm sure I'll get the download back. Lower back. Gotcha, Mimi. Got your right hand. Trusting. Ooh, trusting self-reliance. I mean, we can all use that. Holy cow. Shoulders. Lower back, we got that one. Generational trauma, good one. And then shoulder, we can just, wait, we already got shoulder on there? Let's do shoulder, left shoulder. Resistance, oh, I like that one. Release resistance. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Oh, I'm so mad because I thought I was gonna remember. Okay, dope, okay. So everybody that's a subscriber, you threw out your intention. I want to make sure that if you didn't and you wanted to, this is your chance because we got a few more spots open. It's crazy we all have similar issues. Yeah, that's what's beautiful about doing this in this space is that you'll recognize that we're going through a lot of different themes together. And it seems like we're going through things alone, but we really are doing things more as a collective than we recognize. Rash. Yeah, people are having lots of skin coming up too in the back. Yeah, like the double lion. Weight loss. Okay. Let's put weight. Right knee. Leg pain. I think we got those. Did we get the legs? Leg pain. We got lower back. Finding joy. Oh, I like that one. I'm gonna put joy. Put joy. We need more joy, huh? Okay. I'll grab a couple. I got a couple more spots. I'm gonna switch it over to everybody. All right. If you got an intention, throw it out. Confidence. I like it. So we got a spot for it. Hey, Screamo, what's up? Hips. I like the hips. Hips have been acting up too. Interesting, huh? We got COVID. Yeah, I think we're out of spots. So, hi Moon. Oh, I love you. We'll every time that I pick one, we'll go back and we'll replace it. So after the transmissions, have your intention ready and we can replace the ones that we have. Does that sound good, everybody? Can you remove anything from a recent It's probably not the best space for something like that, but you know what, Rachel? Hold your intention. Hold the intention in when we do these transmissions. Now, the stuff doesn't work so like rigid in the way that we think that it does. Like, it's more like using like music. It's like some music is easier to dance to, but that doesn't mean that you can't choose to dance to certain music, right? You might dance a little bit different than you're used to, but you can still dance to that music or have like an emotional response to it. So when we do a transmission, what I would recommend to do is really open up your heart. So place your awareness in the center of your chest until you start to like feel that pressure build up, or maybe crack, it may start to crack open and feel lighter, like expanded. Try to get into that feeling. And then when you feel that, really bring your awareness to that situation and really just have that intention that you're shifting out anything that's ready to be released from that. And then, you know, anything is possible. So thank you for subscribing, Jen. So before we get started on these, what I'm going to do is, for anybody that is interested, we're going to do a quick setting up of a diamond pillar. So we're going to build out a diamond pillar, which is part of our diamond light bodies architecture. It's just really good for making sure that we're working with the right type of coding and energies. Before I jump online, I already put up a whole bunch of different architecture for our group field that's intended to keep things that are right for us in and things that are not right for us out. But you know, this is a big collective space where I'm live and there's different energies that move through. So using our own discernment is really important, and then also setting our own intentions and our own structures is also really helpful, and I would say really important as well. So if you're open to that, we're going to just real quickly, I'll walk through it. We'll build out the structure, and then we'll jump into pick which intention for the group healing. So if you're open to this idea, I would recommend to set your own parameters, only what's in alignment for your highest and greatest good. You know, use your own discernment. Not everything's for everyone. But what we're going to go ahead and affirm for any part of any aspect of tonight's live, that no harm will be done during or following. No harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. Only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. And then, of course, we're only working with organic architecture, Christic architecture, so essentially base 12 systems. So all the beings, entities, aspects, guides that we're going to be working with tonight must be in service to the sacred law of love and the sacred law of one. All right, so if you're open to this, we are going to help build out this structure. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to communicate with each person's highest consciousness, and we're going to ask them to establish the appropriate geometries for your particular templates at this time. So a 2D, like 6-pointed star of a certain frequency may come into your awareness in the center of your brain. It could be a 3D one, so like a Merkaba structure. It could be something completely different. Whatever it is, it's perfect for you and your template. And what we're going to do is we're going to have that geometry spin up at the appropriate spin rates and ratios for your template. And then we're going to move that down through your central column. So it's going to move down from the center of the brain, gently down. It's going to move through the throat. It's going to be cleansing as it moves down as well through your hara line. So down through the high heart and the heart, the solar plexus, sacral, the root, and then it's going to go past the legs, and it's going to stop about a foot below the feet. And at this spot, it's likely that it's going to start to spin up faster and faster. And often a liquid light platform will begin to build out. And this platform will emit some beautiful frequencies that rise up through and around your body and through your field. So this is wide enough around that if you were to extend your arms, you couldn't touch the sides. You don't have to see this in your imagination. You don't have to follow along. We're intending this to take place. And if you're open to having this take place, we're assisting with that as well. And this light's going to rise up through and around the body. And the cylinder of light's going to rise up at about 1 meter above the head. Everybody's different. So whatever you're experiencing, valid for you. And then we're going to take that geometry from the bottom platform. We're going to move it right back up through the central pillar. And as it moves through the energy centers, if it's appropriate for you at this time, we're going to activate the energy centers. So we're going to move up through the root, which is often associated with the red. It's going to move through the sacral, often associated with orange. Through the solar plexus, often associated with yellow. Through the heart, often associated with green. High heart, which can vary, gold, silver, I mean, everybody, it's different templates, or teal, if we're going in a linear fashion. It's going to move through the throat, often represented by blue. Third eye, often represented by like an indigo. And it'll move up through the crown, often represented by like a white violet, and then it'll go to the top of that cylinder of light at its own pace. If it's not there yet, that's totally fine. And then once it's up there, it's going to spin up again, and faster and faster until another platform begins to build out, and that'll vacuum seal you into this cylinder of light. So this is what we would call a diamond pillar. And we're just going to add one more extra layer here. So we're going to crack open your heart with your own signature love frequency right in the center of your chest. See it as like a little light spark up in the center of your chest. Try to really feel into the center of your chest. Okay, I'm actually being guided to open up our hearts more. So we're going to connect with the constellation of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is going to flow down in like a white stream from that constellation. It's going to go through our upper energy centers and into our heart space. And through this stream of light, we're going to ask for a specific code that's going to help open and expand our hearts. So if we have any like blockages in our hearts, this helps to kind of work around that to help open up the heart space so you can tap more into those love frequencies, because that's where healing truly comes from. It comes from the heart. So this green cylinder is going to flow down with a code in it. You may or may not see it, which is totally fine. And then it's going to flow through the upper energy centers and into the heart space, where it's going to spin up. It's going to spit out some frequencies that work with both the energetic anatomy and the physical anatomy to tap into these frequencies. Endocrine system, parts of the brain. So it's just a good time to feel into the heart space. You can use your intention to open it more. You can see it spin in a clockwise direction. Light just really blast out. I like to use, like, sometimes I like to imagine it like a gushing geyser. I don't know why, like using water and liquid really works well for me to like feel the energies. Just intending to open it. Think happy thoughts, think about something that you love. And we're gonna crack that open some more. And then we're gonna put that soccer ball shape that we mentioned earlier around it. And we're gonna put like this chameleon kaleidoscopic chromium frequency on the outside and inside of the faces of that geometry. It's gonna be like a mirror type surface. And then we're gonna expand the geometry so that it pushes it all the way around your energy field. We're gonna count down from 3, and then we're gonna push it out. 3, 2, 1. We lock that in there, and then we place a rainbow ray around it. Yay! Vanessa says, even if you don't subscribe, you can still benefit, right? Yes. So we're going to do a transmission specifically for subscribers that'll be activated for subscribers, but there's always there will be spillover as well, and it's something that you, once you do subscribe, so even if it's not tonight, if you subscribe down the line and you go onto YouTube, you will have access to the transmission as well. So this type of work extends outside of the limitations of space-time, so you can access these codes anytime that it feels right for you. But yeah, there'll be spillover for everybody. All right, so we're going to start off by choosing one of these intentions. So just as a reminder, I've got everything drawn out in a circle here on my paper, all these different intentions, things like for the eyes, lower back, releasing fear, knee pain, all sorts of stuff. Then I got a pendulum, and I'm going to choose which one. So I'm going to let the pendulum choose, rather. And then we're going to sling some magic. right, looks like knee pain, knee pains. So it's somewhere between knee pain and leg pain. So I'm just gonna intend that it works on both, whatever the individual needs. All right. So we're just going to reaffirm that in the transmission following, yes, that no harm will be done, no energy will be taken, it's not freely given out of love, it'll be an alignment for the highest good of all, only and only those that are open receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So the intention here is to bring through healing for knee or leg pain. So either one, if you're experiencing knee or leg pain, what I want you to do is place all of your awareness in that area and relax as much as possible, but you're consciously bringing your awareness to those areas. If you involve your hands, that can only help. So you can place your hands on that area, feel your hands as deeply as possible while you feel the area in your legs as deeply as possible. If you don't have any leg pain, it's totally fine. There's always, we store all sorts of stuff in our body, whether we know it or not. So it can only assist in releasing some stagnant energies. So be part of the more you're part of the process, the stronger it's going to be. I'm not doing the healing here. It is you doing the healing. It's just stimulating the healing within you. So the more you're involved, the better it is. And again, if you can have your heart open as much as possible, it's going to assist. All right, so what we're going to do just to assist here is we're going to call in constellation of Pisces. And Pisces is going to flow into the feet and ankles. So if there's any pain there or help to move out any energies that are stagnant from that area, the Pisces will assist. Then we're going to have Aquarius flow into the shins and calves. It's going to do the same. And you can call these constellations in anytime that you want to bring healing into certain parts of your body. So different constellations are connected with different parts of the body. We're going to have Capricorn flow into the knees. So the knees are ruled by Capricorn, if you want to call it that. So asking Capricorn to flow into the knees. And then Sagittarius into the thighs and hamstrings. All right, and then we're just going to rock and roll with the knees, the legs. Sorry, moderators, I will switch it to subscriber only chat next time I do a transmission. So currently we're focusing on the left knee. Thanks, Rob. Thank you, Daniel. And again, whatever you feel it as deeply as you can, while relaxing as deeply as you can. Try not to tense up. And now if you have pain in these areas, you may feel that intensify when we're doing this work, which is normal. So what I would recommend to do is not run away from the sensations, but lean into them as relaxed as possible. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Rob. Burping, Mimi? Awesome, great sign. Yeah, you may be burping. Yep, well, here comes. You may be burping, you may be yawning. You may have an emotional release, so you may have emotions come to the surface. Again, lean into whatever is coming up for you. Thank you, Capo, and thank you, Nina. Thank you, Nina, assisting with the energy exchange goal. So if you want to contribute to the energy exchange goal, it's the hand superpower gift. But there's other ways to always exchange energy as well. Some energy stuck in the left shin, which is interesting for a collective. Ritini sue waratu so quanta mamiente ne kore wakaruka yare asar tu safiasana tu da usebrati parasita in quale cure hera moratani na kasarati resut aturot pesh te presh tu harda basivra kiri kuri manta por pasatire ire te har no sur chamar tu kuskur kanantare kania radietari ti urut auf wat waren mi artana na sur diamanti ci di kusar tasarata pari kode marne matumane Kipro kunana pasar di yano tatu ti marta fai per ya buakure. Kipro tori mantara tasar Jesu kor timbre ta para kimana kodare ke pera kunana kadare ke bisa beri kar kudeba. Kipro kunana kadare ya rodo markit pa yamana kodare para ke yara kada. And if people are like challenging what we're doing, that's totally fine. What I would challenge people who are hanging out to do is ignore them. Or just be patient with them, because I know a lot of people won't understand this type of stuff, and that's okay. We've all been there. I feel like we've all been there. So, but it doesn't help to but it doesn't help to like match their energy or like try to like go against whatever it is, you know. Just it's a great time to practice just unconditional love and patience. Thank you for subscribing, Ashley. Su akuro kawa tim hafar tatar tursha nira tasi sekir desa fiakura tu sankira kira da atira dasa. Yeah, and I would definitely just recommend not to even worry about the chat while we're doing a transmission. Really be present with what you're experiencing in your body, because what's taking place isn't me doing the healing, it's you doing the healing. It's just stimulating that healing within you. Just essentially, like you've said, this is an experience that I've designed, that I give permission to in order to have the experience of healing in whatever way. Hura tu pasua ta tart kaska here te brantur to biardo man koder te kiun ke mardo hanek tu afwa koko alia kiera harra to karda peaso corretarti. I said, oh, thank you for subscribing, Ashley. Tarriasa te kasatu antubra pepe shinte kiera timbor da masata ta kwa di marata pepe shwata ansura partisia. On the programs associated with left knee. Getting a lot of release, which is good. I apologize for burping. That's how I help to release energy. Move it over, I'm focusing more on the right leg now. A lot of vocalizations coming through, which is totally fine. Actually prefer it. Oh, yeah, here they come. Okay, bahaki na ko harto manati sarti sisiri ki marte pos. Ki parto pajara na hatara na musa we kwar ya yer diaras. Sheriti mari monsurat vot at vot yefere si harti meni kwari ya. Ki maro mani kadi marato passa facendo ko to kai piarde ne kadar ko severe ki. Ci per severe tu ator de bantati mara kuta pe atar pasciata con ko ator da pari mara kuta beata. Rimuri mara da kuta de perasi frasi vera kana pe ni penti bene ko to possa parto qui. Ki per kuti per da makki bordi Marakutara Swartati is Fadi Pasara Asari, Saranu, Turu, Kruku, Kruma, Korea, Kuriteari, Gertu, Ranmara Fartatasi, Akana Kuku, Kuku, We're working in the hip as well. I know somebody mentioned hip, so. Opening the heart some more. So what I'm doing is essentially I'm mirroring my body. So you see me as I'm working down here because I'm working on my own leg essentially. So that's how I do a lot of my energy work, is I essentially interface with those that I'm working on, and then I can work on my own energy field. It's like a merge between the fields. So I'm working with the group field, so essentially like the group hologram that would represent the group as a whole, and then working on my leg and my knees and whatever, so I can feel where there's resistance, and I can feel things release, and I can have a better idea of what I'm working on, because I'm a clairsentient healer, claircognizant clairsentient healer, which means that I interface with energy primarily through feeling energy and through like awareness, like downloads, like just getting information. So I don't have any visuals in my mind. I don't visualize anything. I don't even utilize my imagination, believe it or not. So when things come up into my awareness, there's always a reason for it. So it's not like my mind's essentially blank all the time until a thought comes in, or like an awareness or a memory or any of those things, and I know that it's associated with whatever it is I'm intending to do. And then of course I feel the energies with my hands and fingers and my whole body. Something big here in the right thigh. Oh, okay, I was connected to the right knee. It sounds peaceful. It tripped me out when I found out people that have like, I have no inner sounds. I don't have any visuals. It's just like, it's just blank in there. Doesn't mean I don't have thoughts. It doesn't mean I don't have awareness. But it blew my mind to consider the idea that most people have like an inner monologue, you know, where they see stuff. I'm like, that seems like a superpower to me, you know, like, I know what it's like to have access to my imagination. I know what it's like to have access to being able to visualize and even see in different ways. But for the most part, I see with my eyes open. So if I see energies, it's usually like eyes open, or they're really connected deeply to my physical eyes. Even with like plant medicine, I have to have my eyes open with glasses on to see things. I have to have my glasses on even, which is like, trips me out. So like when I see auras too, I see them, it's a projection of course, because you're not actually seeing it, but I see auras with my physical eyes, even if my eyes are closed. So I don't see it in great detail like other people see auras, but I see it like the space around me. So like I would call it the etheric body, because it looks like a little spacesuit or something that is around the body. It's like a gingerbread cookie or something. Maybe it's a belief available to release now. Yeah, there's a whole lot of different aspects to it that I'm working through on a number of levels. And a lot of it's designed too. My higher consciousness is pretty strategic. So, think it like in movies, like the Jedi, they have to learn to fight without being able to see. Ninjas, that kind of idea. So it's training of sorts, but Yeah, I've actually had it back where I've been able to visualize, or I've actually seen, or use my imagination. That one's hard. It's not being able to access the imagination. Because if I had access to those tools, it feels like cheat codes. Feels like cheat codes. Oops. Break this game. That's probably why. I'm like, no, game over. I'm gonna fix everything. Labora says, I'm not visual. I have a constant inner narrator, but lately it's been quiet. Yeah, it's so interesting to me. I don't think I've ever had an inner voice. I don't think I've experienced inner sounds. I've experienced inner visuals and visualizations and imagination, but not sounds. That seems like it would be overwhelming. Like, I have a hard enough time staying focused as it is, let alone if I had... how would you ever get bored? Like, it seems like you could never get bored. Maybe your partner has cheat codes for you. Perhaps. But it actually started to make a lot of sense when people I started to think about like common phrases, like counting sheep. I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. Or like undressing people with your eyes. I'm like, oh, that's what they mean. I never understood that. Just count sheep, right, Adrian? Thank you so much for the gifts. I think we're almost done here. Back up to the hip. Yeah, we pretty much did both legs, so knees included. We're just going to assist with some grounding real quick. Just take some nice, slow, deep breaths. Just become aware of the earth beneath you. If you want, you can use your imagination. Imagine roots growing out from your feet or growing up from the earth. I like to create little shortcut codes. So it's like creating a program or a script that when I use these certain terms, it runs that script or that program automatically for me. So one of the phrases I've set up is I am Groot. I don't know if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but Groot is like a tree being. And so I use the term I am Groot to just like tap into that playful aspect of it, of like being a tree and being rooted into the earth. All right, I think we're there. Boom. Booyah. How you feeling? Let me know how you're feeling after that. How's the legs? For those that were having knee stuff going on or leg stuff, I would love to hear how that found you. And keep in mind, when we talk about healing, sometimes people can have a complete profound shift, right? There's been instances where people have gone from being in like a 10 out of 10 pain down to a 0 before, but also recognize that there's many layers to things that we heal. It's like onion layers. Sometimes we get a few layers off the top, but sometimes we get right to the core, like the seed inside of it, and reconcile that, and then the whole thing heals. So just keep in mind things may continue to shift and move, especially over the next few days. So just be patient with yourself. Remember that you had this transmission. If you were open to receive the transmission, just remember that you had it, because sometimes it can even bring things up to the surface. So a lot of times we have dis-ease in the body where we'll have pain or an injury or some kind of issue going on because there's so much unprocessed emotion or stagnant energy in these areas that build up over time, and so it messes with the flow of energy. So if there's a lot of emotions that we haven't processed, they can be stored in these areas, and then when they're released, sometimes those emotions can come up to the surface. So just keep that in mind over the next days and weeks. The knees are often associated with like ancestral stuff, oftentimes, and the legs, you know, I mean, it can vary, but. Mama Kitty says, I'm sobbing. My feet have hurt for years and I can't believe it. They don't hurt. Congratulations. Woohoo! Yay! Everybody give Mama Kitty a round of applause. Good work, Mama Kitty. Beautiful. And it's you doing the healing. You know, you are open to have this experience. You are part of the process. Anything that we're doing here, we're doing it as a group too. It's not like this is not a Thai show. I'm just helping to facilitate the process and work in the quantum space a little bit different. I don't like calling them gifts or abilities. I like have certain understandings and access codes based on who I am to be able to assist in different ways. So together, we're in this group field and we're doing this together. So yeah, give yourself a big pat on the back. That's amazing. Thank you for subscribing. Did I miss subscribers? Thank you, Marie Claire. Oh, hi. Good to see you, sis. Debbie says, I felt my left tighten and release. Felt the energy, right hip. Awesome. And Mama Kitty, if you are ever down for the idea, I would deeply appreciate a or leaving a review or a testimonial. You can do so through the link in my bio. I haven't really cared before about that kind of thing, but I'm starting to put up the website, and with that comes people who are new to this stuff, and hearing other people's experiences and you know, their honest feedback about things can really help other people, especially that are new to this stuff. So if you're open to that, it would be deeply appreciated just to share the energy. It's all you. Now, White Butterfly, we're kind of just getting started. We just did a healing for the legs. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick one more intention from the list here that I have, and then after that we're going to do the Lionsgate transmission. So there's still time if you want to subscribe. So it's going to be for subscribers, the transmission, just as a way of giving back to all the love that the subscribers have shared. But there's going to be energetic spillover for everyone that's open to receive. So you know, you don't need to go anywhere. But yeah, if you are a subscriber, there's going to be some different codes and keys that are going to assist as we align. We utilize this alignment, this cosmic alignment, to access the highest parts of self in this universal structure. Oh, thank you, Luke. Make sure you drink some water too. All right, somebody throw out another intention. I'll replace that last one. Whoever's quick on the draw. Thank you for subscribing, Butter Lily. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing, Joya. Thank you, Shauna. Mental clarity, all right. You're fast. Oh, I got mental clarity. I'm going to put forgiveness in there too. I think I can squeeze it in because we kind of did two at once. So I'm going to do forgiveness. I like that one. Beautiful. But again, so even if we use the pendulum and we pick one of these intentions, if you are really wanting assistance in a certain area, set that intention. Place all of your awareness in that area that you would like healing. When I'm doing a transmission for whatever it is, place all of your awareness. Try to open up your heart, relax as deeply as possible, recognize that all it can take is a thought sometimes to shift out these programs, and then the light codes can be utilized because they're living light codes. So the way that they're like, so when I'm making all the funny sounds and I'm moving my fingers around a bunch, I'm essentially playing frequencies. So I'm using my energy field a bit like an instrument to manipulate the frequencies to create a healing song, essentially. And when I'm doing it, it's like these sacred like these different structures of sacred geometry. And that's why we would call light codes. But they're living, so they're never in a set structure. So they're really conscious in a lot of ways. So you can use your consciousness to interface with them and ask them. You can communicate with them to work on certain things, but you can also be part of the process and imagine yourself already whole and healed, and those codes will go to work for you. So this stuff is like way outside of what we are used to expecting from human ideas, which I know it makes it really hard to kind of like grasp, but that's one of the most powerful things about these particular tools and techniques and using light codes, light linguistics, is how multidimensional in nature it is. And it's really a consciousness assisted technology. It's a tool, a technology that is completely facilitated by our consciousness. So thank you. Kasiata, thank you with intent. All right, so we're gonna pick. Thank you for subscribing, really, Chris. And I'm sorry if I missed other people that have subscribed too. I apologize. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shana, for subscribing. Robbie and Little Bird, you're gonna go to the class on Sunday? Awesome. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I've been wanting to do classes a lot because I used to do a lot of class work. So I would go like throughout high school, even when I was like in middle school, I would travel around the country and I would do like presentations for different stuff. I did a lot of things for like, I don't like to call it anti-tobacco, but more like big industry education and like anti-manipulation type presentations and whatnot. So I really like doing it. I like to make them fun. So this is the first time that I'm actually like trying to do something for energy work. And then of course with energy work, it's what I'm most passionate about. Like this stuff is like, I've got so many techniques and tools that I want to share, and that's going to be the challenge. So for those that are going to the class, like, please be patient with me, and please just be completely honest. If I give too much data, if it's just too overwhelming, like, please let me know, because for me, I want to just like data dump so much. I'm just like this technique, and if this one doesn't work, then do this one, and this, and this, and this, and this. So I'm really trying not to make it be like a 9-hour class. So, but anyway, okay. Let's pick one of these intentions. All right. All right. All right, so for those that are unaware, I am using a pendulum to choose an intention for group healing. I have them all written out in a circle on a piece of paper, and we're going to let the pendulum choose which intention that we focus on next. It's really interesting when energies move through me. You may notice like my eyes begin to pulse. I know I'm receiving when that takes place. Sometimes it's too much and it jolts me, especially with a pendulum. Not like get jolted away. Confidence. I like it. Confidence. Can always use some more of that. Enchanted Reading says, I am willing to release what is manifesting in my body. Can you help me, darling? Absolutely. Hold your awareness on those intentions, that intention specifically, and then we're going to do the transmission and we'll see what comes through for you. Magic. It is magic, you know? It's legit magic. Anything is possible. right. Duro arranturta sasatatire kiarasia tatu kuku kauru artasartasine tebia. All right, confidence. You got to puff out your chest for this one. All right, so we're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all. Only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. And we're only working with Christic coding. And only aspects and beings that are in service to the law of love, the law of one. All right. So just feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Try to really be mindful and aware of like the subtle feelings. So almost like you're paying attention to just outside of your skin. You can feel your skin, so like maybe start on your skin and then just feel a few inches off your skin and try to like imagine what that feels like around your whole body. And the more you can tune into and feel off of your body, the deeper it goes within. Sidura suranan partuso kurukut hambere piekna dera haroturon sore wasuni maraya kurkus chikurokus toman sochura fahakan lera hale kandere krayet yartasura chipro firan yetur taliana iburan puran bebran ibadia wakurkus utafaraniti ki surre awatar tasananturi watsi para numansara tu ratine suara tuiri kambra ki wahawakura kiara nanakuso rimuria satatatatatata ibrukuria nakiara ibrufaria sanin brain para namakiwari. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out a little imaginary thumb drive, like a USB stick. I'm going to place a code on it. And this code, the functionality of this code, once we plug in this little thumb drive into your crown, is it's going to begin to stream the healing frequency for confidence. So it's going to just start to pump the frequency of confidence into your body and your field. I'm going to times that by 10. We're going to plug that into your crown, and we're going to ask that to run for an hour. Or we'll ask your higher consciousness to go ahead and delegate how long that runs for. So we're working a lot on the throat center because a lot of confidence is about expressing, right? It's like we can be confident, but it's really about that expression into the world, that we exude confidence, right? It's not just something that's within, but it's something that extends outside. Confidence to express our truth. The confidence to know that what you speak is truth. The lion is really about that confidence, that exudes confidence, so it's perfect for the theme tonight. And the courage, that heart rage, it's about aligning. So this transmission is also assisting in aligning passion with expression. When we merge those together, that's really where we can tap deeper into the idea of confidence, into our own self-confidence. So the more confidence we're able to stand in, and the more that we're able to express, it changes our energy. So we're not becoming victims when we're in that confidence energy. We're not victims to our external circumstances. That's what they call unfuckwithable, is what they want me to say. You gotta be unfuckwithable, unmovable. Good. Confirm. Getting some releases. You may be burping, you may be yawning, you may have an emotional release. Sometimes people cough. Sometimes you can even dry heave or, gag, purge. Good. All right. Sweet. How you feeling? Make sure you drink some water. Yeah, you should be able to. I wish there was an easy place on the website to like write a testimonial. For now, it's probably easiest to go into my link tree, and there's an option on there for submit testimonial, and then it like walks you through a quick little kind of survey. Good, you're feeling good. Intent Candle says, wow, awesome. Authentic Heart and Soul says, awesome. Blissed Out Energies, beautiful. Tapping into that confidence. Liz is yawning, release, beautiful. It's truly our pleasure. Authentic, like someone slapped my face. Not so tense, thank you. A lot lighter. Awesome, Capo. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts and thank you for the roses. Yawning, I imagine the line before you said it. Yeah, that's what they wanted to bring through. And we got our lion, the background being all badass looking. We got the lion as like a little overlay too, Lion's Gate. Why am I yawning so much? I missed something. Yeah, so yawning is a way for us to help release energy. So a lot of times in this kind of quantum healing work, whatever you want to label it as, we'll shift out energies. And one of the ways to help release those energies is through burping and through yawning. The most common that people are usually aware of when it comes to healing is emotional release, right? Like when we're talking through something, we'll cry or we'll get angry, or sometimes we get happy, get joyful. But with this type of work, we're moving through things really quickly and at a really deep level that it's not quite there even at the level of processing it as an emotion. So one of the ways to help release these energies is just, a more, I don't know what, I guess just quick way is through burping, through yawning. Sometimes, mostly burping and yawning. I used to actually process emotions. So when I would work with people, I used to feel the emotions come up to the surface. I'd have to process them, which was, it's not bad. It's just, it is a slower process, right? Because when you're in that emotion, you're feeling it and, you move through it. But in this way, using yawns and burps, it's stuff that you can move through really quickly. Yeah, So yeah, if you are a subscriber, we're going to be doing the transmission for subscribers next. So this is a Lionsgate transmission. So you're likely most aware of the idea of Lionsgate around 8/8. So most people will do events for Lionsgate around the August 8th. Now, what Lionsgate isn't necessarily associated with a date on a calendar. It's actually associated with a specific alignment of the stars, of the different cosmic bodies that allow for certain codes and data sets, instruction sets to be available. So it essentially aligns in like a geomantically with different energetic structures, stars, constellations that then allow for certain informations to come through. So you can really access deeper levels of your being through these alignments. So this particular alignment is when the sun is conjunct with Regulus, which is what people refer to as, the heart of the lion, as well as Sirius conjunct with Rigel. So when these line up in a certain way, which took place on the 23rd, around the 23rd, it allows us to really be able to tap more into what we would refer to as our 10th, 11th, and 12th spheres, or stargates. So we have them at a personal level, we have them at a planetary level, we have them at a galactic level, a universal level. So as above, so below, as within, so throughout. So the transmission today is going to be to assist in helping to tap into these energies deeper, and in whatever way your higher consciousness wants to use these, and also bring through whatever it is that is needed to assist you in this process. User said, how did you start to move through others' emotions quickly? I usually have to feel it too. It honestly happened naturally for me. So I didn't make a conscious decision to process things differently, but I know now that you can make a conscious decision to process things differently. So, set the intention that I would like to help release energies in a different way. It seems to be very common to burp or yawn. That seems to be the most effective ways to move out energies, but you can also try to program it in other ways. There's certain energetic aspects related to yawns and burps that make it particularly effective for releasing energy. You can also intend to giggle, laugh, that's possible. But yeah, so I would say play around with it. That's not, an area that I have a lot of experience, just my own personal experience in, but I do know that you can program it. So just set the intention to program it. Yeah, so this transmission we're about to do is specifically activated for subscribers. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be spillover for everybody. So there's going to be lots of energies that are flowing around that you can enjoy if you would like, for your highest good only, of course. But if you really want to tap more into the codes and instruction sets that are going to be shared through the transmission, then subscribing is the way to do that. It's just a way for us to give back to subscribers for sharing the love. Now, if you decide later on to subscribe to the live, you can go back on YouTube and utilize this transmission. So I'm going to post this on YouTube afterwards. So if you decide later on, you're like, oh, maybe, a month or two down the line, you're like, oh, I'm going to subscribe to Ty's lives, you will have access to these subscription-based transmissions. So they're going to be like this anytime I do these subscription-based transmissions, is you're going to have access to those anytime that you're a subscriber. So as a subscriber, you have access to use this transmission as many times as you want while you're a subscriber. Now, you can still try to access it if you're not a subscriber, and you may be able to tap into stuff more. I don't know, but you're welcome to give it a shot. But that's the way that we're programming it. That's the way that we're encoding it, just to give back to our subscribers. Sound good? Do we have any questions before we start slinging some magic for this transmission? Oh, thank you for subscribing, Leash. Yeah, thank you so much to subscribers. What's beautiful is, subscribing is one way to have an energy exchange. Everything works on an energy exchange. So at some level, we're always exchanging energies. That's one beautiful way to exchange energies. It's definitely not necessary, but what's really cool is when you're a subscriber, there's a certain effect that happens in the quantum field that's really, really beautiful. It's not like, I don't want to say it's like joining a club, but it's like becoming part of a group field that is really beautiful. And woo-wee, I just got pinged big time. That really gives back to everybody that's part of the collective. So that is just really beautiful. But there's other ways to exchange energy. You can tap the screen. That's one way to share energy. As you tap the screen, it sends likes and that shows the live to more people, and you never know who might come up on the live, right? I've had people who've not into this stuff at all. They were just kind of curious, like, what is this weirdo doing, rolling his eyes, making funny sounds and flopping around like he's having a seizure. And then they've felt it and they've had profound experiences, had activations come online. So that's one way. You can just leave comments, share your authentic experiences, because that helps others as well. There's just countless ways. So just know that there's no pressure there whatsoever, but it is deeply appreciated. So thank you. Somebody else subscribed. Thank you, Life of Lucy. Appreciate you so much. And what kind of upgrades? It can vary. Upgrades come through depending on what you're already working with. So like, for example, if I were to get a clairvoyance upgrade, it may not show that much for me because I don't access that particular interface set that much. But if I were to upgrade, let's say, my clairsentience, that might be felt a lot more, which is like clear feeling. But you can upgrade, it can be all sorts of stuff. You can upgrade your personal grids. Think of it as like your character in a video game. You get to add more stuff to it, like you get to add more, your arm, like if you've watched like the Avengers movies, right? Iron Man is always upgrading his suit, or like the Spider-Man is upgrading his suit. He started as the Model 1 or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what he labels it as, but then his suit just gets more and more badass. So you can, that happens at a metaphysical level too. We tap more into our gifts. We tap more into our understandings, into our different grids and systems. It's like a big video game sometimes. All right, beautiful souls. Yeah, you can upgrade your swords too. Yeah, some people have swords and shields and all sorts of stuff. All right, let me just tune in real quick to see if there's anything I should be mentioning before we get started. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the chat to subscriber only chat while I do this transmission. I'm not sure how long the transmission is going to go. I'm just setting the intentions and letting whatever comes through that needs to come through for the group field to come through. And thank you so much for subscribing, MJ. So just keep that in mind. There's going to be energetic spillover for everybody who's open. So you may feel a lot, you may not. But just because you feel it doesn't necessarily mean these codes are integrating in a way that is, as you would perhaps if you were subscribing and have the activation codes for this stuff. But we'll see what happens. I'm open for whatever. Like I'm setting the intention that it's for everyone's highest good only, and let the magic come through and do what it does. And again, we'll be posting this on YouTube as soon as possible, likely tomorrow morning. All right, so I'm gonna switch it over to subscriber only. Just subscriber only chat. So I recommend to definitely be sitting down for this. Sitting or lying down. You don't have to watch the screen. You don't have to listen to me. In fact, I encourage you to go within, relax your body as much as possible. Allow yourself to have your eyes open or eyes closed, whatever feels more comfortable for you. If you have your eyes closed, you may see visuals. You may see things come up in your awareness. I would recommend not to try to attach to anything you see. Don't try to overanalyze it. You can go and do that later. But for when we're doing this, just try to be really present. If you feel like your body needs to move, allow it to move. It might want to make little micro adjustments. You may, move around a lot. If you need to make sounds, I recommend to allow yourself to make sounds. It's only going to make the transmission stronger. So healing is likely to come through. We're likely to shift out energies. So you may feel intensity come up in your body. Thank you for subscribing, Laura. If you do feel that, try not to run from whatever you're experiencing. Lean into it. It's like when we get sensations in our body, it's almost like saying, it's like a video game, and it's like saying press here, but like really you're like, put your awareness here. Whatever's coming up into your field, that's where you want to place your awareness, and allow it to be malleable, allow it to move between different areas of your body. Just really try to allow. I would recommend to always set up your own parameters. Use your own discernment. Not everything's for everybody. Only what's in alignment for my highest good. All those things. They're like, stop talking. Yeah, all right. Yes. So what I'm going to say, relax. Take in some nice slow breaths just at your own pace. I like to take a breath in that's about 70%, no more than 70%, because it can start to create tension if we do too big of a breath. Let's take some nice deep breaths. I like to purse my lips on the exhale and create like a pressure as I exhale. So almost like blowing through a straw. We're going to take a set of healing frequencies. We're going to plug those into the crown real quick. There's all sorts of good frequencies in there. Self-love, perfect health, confidence, willpower, unity consciousness, awareness. There's diamond, angel, dolphin, dragon frequencies, all sorts of good stuff. Just take some slow breaths. And again, we're going to affirm that no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It'll be in alignment for the highest good of all. Only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. Just going to connect with the appropriate frequencies. I'm going to connect with the magnetic frequency that is best for the transmission. That's going to flow up into my heart from my lower energy centers. We're going to connect to a masculine or electric frequency that's best for this transmission. It's going to flow down through my upper energy centers into my heart. We're going to meet my heart space. We're going to crack open our heart. And we're going to flow these loving frequencies up from the heart and into the back of your heart. We're going to use a code to fire up the transmission centers and do a bit of a cleanse for your column of light. Transmission centers is a little bit different than energy centers. We're going to do a big figure 8 through the whole system. This is going to help move energy, so it can help accelerate healing, and it can also help with integration. Assisting with some structures because some people were not here earlier, so we're going to help make sure we assist those new people with a grid, a personal grid. Rock and roll, so just feel your body. If you start to feel tingles or pressure, really become aware of it. Just lean into it while relaxing as much as possible. Recommend to make sure your eyes are relaxed as much as possible. Your jaw is relaxed. Your shoulders are allowed to relax. If you're sitting, sink into your hips. mana yandorando tau tu perati sati tonda yere tu katanya. Just I'm doing some work around the eyes. It sounds like it's a theme for a number of us in the collective. I think there's some stuff that's going to be coming up in the fall that is going to be connected with the idea of sight, metaphorically, but maybe both.
Unguriki barakunane tartu heri se turiyama. Puenelu klura nuya. Tu kamine kiri kuri. Kudemare nori. Ature tu kuko kwaru ke maraki piakina. Yakuti ke embori kana yeko. Ehu. Ehu ke marapu pia. Yari surya mukraya. Passi faresti per gli manocutati. Ti per tu safiardo possa farla quindi maria per tutti guardano. Arrivi guasuri per affierato carro cui ora in bantere ferrasi. Ridara no rusho torusciata da capire per chi per io dai ma tu. Riweu haru no manocutare basi ti erdo fas farati per il tiuri. Chi per tu mi vorto farse mere che tra chi appartiene con di pardo ma che ti per tu che di arto di marto. Uendo mar para io qui quiero guardatas. Chi per un son so taure feferete per il mario. Surya marrana tara yisuri turi mantaro kukuru. Kere mansur. Kuko apa. Hit myself. So the overall theme of this transmission is to connect with more of self, to be able to tap into more of the higher aspects, because that's what this particular gateway is really about, connecting with our highest aspects. It's like a main line into Lyra. Oturua varma. Ulura. Yeneketaradia. Tatu anderita awarutu varranana. Ari muri tandi teri turatu tafaranter mur kansari taruturi mandanin nukuru. Vaharuke ma fa na tere wetulum bani. che mandaura o nema fatu e qua sanatara ti se azi pe acuzze se wasiam vada da pakor kuma ratine ne kutara vasi amur cha sandare po hartara natu shwatis ti sia sata mirete pe ar tu cor che per cusati ti antene no te para fiera tu quei passi c'è parti guardano cu sua hayara che andori braia surrescendi cu suari shata viene kut ci vede con gli acquari a rendere tutte ya iya kuku makurikai te kimbo kuku lemere ki bariara che però con le versivere dopo come su ne patana matarna mi ardo mara tutti frasivere da bin corti mara topas ci però con ne che delle che ne con delle poccia farta parli mara con delle biasa ci però di parodo mara con delle che te specie per te passarti per non passare dopo da ma che però che te prende così per te per tu mara con tutti questi sia mara te passare che però non c'è fra ambar in muota lei tore masure cha sure shanare tore canara che te per te però isa ritura sar shandor shalari tani Ratara surja dursha nakrakia kalurda Bartu sandeti resura Cheruku ke akane krayakwe Ki parati tansa tabi Ki mora nara nangama Fete wa to mama de mama tuye Pete marito Tiwi wi kawa wayama Kepi susanasi Chewisa wa hulu mamia Lelu le ana le kuya le kutai mana yo to yuani mana lelu waswali le kuya le kamani no kolelo lelu le mani wata ne yo wai wala ke bala yo wele lo man lo kuya mana le kutarapia le lo sakuya kani le kiama ke le ku ele wasa la kutai mali kui kwa nyungulo kwa wara le wara wadi mana yo hatu wale kiama ke bala ki wale wasu frasi para fa ta pimpuki ma hatu kemana ke wero ta me wata ni tema che per tu savi assurite per era tutti fattati mecchi vedi qui che per cui ne che tu era tu mi che per si che per sapere che non mi parte me che la cosa che per fare non che tutti per che per dopo che non parse per cui ne per che per che che di matar man sabato bi portati patapati ti ta io me che per cui se per che tu per ogni manda per che dato sutti sanzer dopo se per che vai a rodina Lalu kau ni mak tu kia pakai ni marat pasal pada chef antu ni shwas vera tu pasal pada kimar kita kita mek lagi kia parta mi anu tu bani kia beri ku heu kau tahu roh fahra ti fe hasira te mutabata hati amatu buat weti kia berasi fe kana harat tadi wanta pada bahasi pada kau di mereka tu pada kita kia beri kia nak tu kia pasal pada bahasi mana tu pasal tu biar kau tahu bahasa pada bocah atau kia pada pasal mana kia beri marat tu ni tahu tu pada fe kia beri pe ku kau kada parta ta fiari kia berasi tu pada pasal mana kia parta pada beri eu que me ia pegar mania manana que era yaman que lembra que estava aqui falando para só estava para estar aqui aqui para o tempo que você nem que para o da oito horas né que o tu ram no sarete isso se tu reschato rasiata da cena e do dia se tu reschato rati que é o coco lá vai era né que tá você olha que tu que marti vou te fazer mas tá passeando com ti manhã Ikununga. Ikonamiarania. Weko hanafi. Kiam kanku. Shiwa tio sotafa arimi. Simato mikeni. Isto.
In the vibe that some people are actually going to be tapping into some of their like linguistics. So you may have soul expression, like your soul languages come up, but it can also be expressed in different ways as well. So it can be expressed in writing. It could be in movement, similar to like what I do. Your hands might just naturally start to move into different mudras or different parts of the body. So just keep an eye and heart open and mind open for whatever starts to come through for you. Don't force anything. You'll know when it comes through because it's not something you have to force. Like it'll be really obvious. So there's no forcing it necessary. But when it does start to come up, if say it's vocalizations, allow it to flow through. Don't try not to judge it. Try not to like overanalyze it. Like, what does it mean? What am I saying? Like, recognize that it's a way of interfacing with your higher consciousness. It's higher self-integration. So it may, especially in the beginning, it may be a lot of expression, just straight up soul expression. It may come with a lot of emotions. So just be gentle with yourself and feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me and send me a message, shoot me an email, leave a comment on the video, and I'll be happy to assist, because it can come through in a lot of different ways. So the want me also to just remind you that it also can come through movement of the body. So more than just the fingers and hands and mudras and such, it can actually come through in like ways that might look like dance or might feel like dance. So just be open to, it's very autonomous, the way that it feels. It's like you're not doing it, but you have control still. You'll notice it. You'll know that it's happening. You'll know that it's happening. It may feel like tension before you release it as well. So you may feel like you're building up tension in the body, around the neck or the arms or the eyes, and it's usually because we're so used to like making our body be in a certain direction, and this stuff is like, once it's activated, it wants to move the body for you. It's gonna, if you interact with certain energies or certain thoughts or different expressions, it's gonna want to move your body to help with those expressions. So allow your body to move, allow it to make micro adjustments, or maybe not so micro, they might even be macro adjustments. I mean, let's look at the way that I move. That's why I honestly didn't even know that like it was a thing until I saw other people do similar, which I had probably been activated for years before I was even aware, just because I didn't know it was a thing, and I was experiencing it as just muscle tension, because you're never taught to, like, that, okay, I might be rolling my eyes, that might be a normal thing for me, you know, moving my hands in all these different directions. So just be open to whatever unfolds naturally for you.
Prethira surya murdana yartasi chera tirta fartusu comandire che profale hanurta tua per clar che kerak tukusondoma per emura tata yawakura che mamete te buatu atu a wikine ukala amata iwe kwelikanti eki wikine kuta kwede kibu awar ta porai chani te mo asa we osani etse ata tipera te fasare girbiari che preocuta fatu tata shuru turta fasare per the fisi nukusare atima to severa gimakuta. I find it really interesting that only a few dialects are coming through tonight. I honestly thought a lot more dialects were going to come through tonight. Keep it up as a cosera di motu safahar tasasi keep it keep it ngugu aquana mamare. Shui wow faka na kakwa de mamere te antere tu sapere da mezzo barzo per io sembra che per che shuti frasi per che tu incasavara tu mi che parchino che così deve fare su per to passare to perché che bene che per conde ma tu passi guarda tu sapere da me che per conde che per ti sapere to per me che tu possa fare per che vuoi a conde ma per sapere che per fare che ma che per so del mano tu dopo sapere da passa per ti pare quindi che per conde per cosa fare per che ma tu ti per la fa passava perché ma questi what di maracuto che per onde mandata perché me la dato passare il cuore per passare di maracuto riparci ci vuoi curriata questo che andore che brahisi ti te roture fra fieri se sicuri che mas te perché mi alcuna sata io rocuti praficchi accura tan mare mardomano tu che si fa sopra te pasci tutti ma sarato sacco che una satu ma chi fosse con te marcia fuoco di parfiata chi manias feel your body. Last little push here.
Confirm. All right, we're going to use a grounding code here. Help to ground into a higher density. Just tuning in, just double tuning in to make sure that there's nothing else they want me to do. Okay, sure. Okay, boom. All right, we're all set. So you'll have to let us know how that found you. Saying it back to everybody. Ashley in the house. Hi, Ashley. Recommend to drink some water if you got it. I would love to hear your experiences. Please share if you had any experiences, because it can help other people. Hi. You're most welcome, Life of Lucy. Thank you so much. Just a very thank you so much. Yeah, I wish there's, I think actually I like this. I like ways to give back. Oh, it's interesting. I've never seen that before. I had a message from TikTok pop up saying something about my life. Oh no, you missed it. But I will be putting it on YouTube, Ashley, so you should be able to tap into it when I put it on YouTube. I'll put that tomorrow if you're interested in the transmission. So sleepy, yeah. You honor your body. If it's time to go to bed, allow yourself to go to bed. You may still be in kind of like that receiving state for a little bit, so you may be super tired. Which, if so, I would recommend to not worry about the live at all. I would recommend just to go lay down and get into that meditative state, like continue through that meditative state, or you may be like jacked up, so you may be like buzzing a lot. And if that's the case, if you can get your feet in the ground or like go hug a tree or something, it can actually help a ton. So like after I'm done with the live here, we're gonna go to the beach, and just so I can help ground back in too. Whole body is buzzing, feeling good but lightheaded. Yeah, I'm feeling a little lightheaded currently too. All that energy running through the head. Grounding feeling, yeah, we used some grounding codes, so it can kind of take a second to kind of get back in, and it's also grounding to a higher density, so that can be a little bit strange for people sometimes. At least you got visuals: blue, green, iridescent opal, glimmering gold wall, Egyptian writing, and a white suitcase. Interesting. I wonder what that means. White suitcase. That sounds fancy. A lot of pressure. Got sleepy. Thank you, Andy. Grounding feeling, awesome. Ty, you should really get activated. Lemurian diamonds, they're awesome. I was actually sent some Lemurian diamonds from, I think it's Christy, right? Christy and, I don't know what the name is now. So the Ascension Tools. Beautiful people. Hugging cats helps? Yeah, it actually does. Ryan said I had a lot of wiggling in my hips and movement through my lower back. Thank you. Oh yeah, it's our pleasure. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the gifts. I love you so much. I missed Anna's. I saw a city with skyscrapers and many beings. I zoned out, forgot I was here. Awesome. I love hearing your feedback. Kept seeing images of big flocks of birds flying into the sky. Awesome. See that? I think that's so cool. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. I think that's so amazing. Like when people hear, see stuff. Oh, thank you, chica. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I love that gift. So thank you so much, and thank you for all the gifts. Thank you, Sparkle. Sorry, I'm getting behind on comments here. I'm trying to catch back up. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'll sleep like a baby tonight. And don't be surprised if you have interesting dreams tonight, folks. So I should mention this before we get too far away. Recognize that these activations are just that. They're an activation. So things are going to integrate at the pace that's appropriate for you, for your highest good. So sometimes that can happen very quickly. Sometimes that can take days or weeks. So things may come up to the surface over the next days and weeks. That's kind of part of the activation and upgrade process, is that we got to release things that are not serving so we can make space for what's available for us to come in, or at least just get reacquainted with more of our authentic self. And that can be a little, there can be some growing pains there. Not pre-programming it that there is, but sometimes emotions may come up. So just remember that, you had this transmission over the next days and weeks. So most people integrate in these days within about 3 weeks, which is really fast compared to what it used to be. It can happen faster. It can be a little bit slower. I am a little bit slower on the integration aspect, but just keep that in mind. Be gentle with yourself. Drink lots of water over the next few days, and don't hesitate to reach out. Like, for any reason, things may come up. Just shoot me a message. Like, it's not a big deal. If you have a question, or there's something that you just want some feedback on, I'm happy to share my perspective. And again, that's just my perspective. Follow your intuition, follow your guidance, and find data elsewhere, cross-reference data. Follow your feels. How do you release? So release can come out in a lot of different ways. So when I'm doing work with others, I help to release energy through burping, yawning, and sometimes even like dry heaving or throwing up energy. But a very common way to release is like emotions. So what happens is we store emotions in our body, in our energy field, from traumatic events, or we're programmed in society and through culture to think that we're not allowed to process negative emotions, right? So what happens is we end up storing them for later processing, and when that gets stored in the body, it creates resistance in the body, creates dis-ease in the body, and that's when we can get sick. That's when we can have injuries and pain come up to the surface. So when we shift out these stagnant energies and these emotions, sometimes that will bring those up to the surface. So you may feel emotional. So allow yourself. I think the biggest thing that helps is to know that it's okay, because we push them away. So we think we're not supposed to feel them. But if you lean into them, you remember, oh, I had that transmission, and like lean into it. Like, I feel like I need to cry. Give yourself the space to cry. Like, try to make it like, don't try, but lean into whatever you're experiencing. And once you get it started and you can really lean into that emotion, let it all out, and then it'll go way faster. It's like that, like tiptoeing around actually feeling that really creates that suffering process. So yeah, I would recommend to do your own research too. Like, Google it, like, how do we release energies, or follow those questions and find other resources too, because your higher consciousness, your higher mind, your guides are going to guide you in that direction, which is going to be the best direction for you, like what's best for you. Just because I feel things in a certain way, or I have a certain perspective, doesn't mean that that'll even register for you yet. So your higher mind, your higher consciousness is going to guide you through that process. And just keep an eye out in your reality for synchronicities. So that can be like repetitive numbers that some people really relate to that, or they resonate with numbers, which is great, because it's something that is all over the place. You can assign your own value to those ideas. There's some archetypal aspects to numbers, but try not to attach too much just to any ideas. What I would recommend, like 333 doesn't mean this only. Just keep an eye out. If you see 333, oh, synchronicity, okay, perfect, that means I'm on track. Or maybe keep an eye out for something, or those ideas. Yes, you're most welcome, Josephine. What does pain in the area of the liver mean? A lot of times we store anger in the liver. That's usually what's most associated with the liver. Sleeping but no rest from dreams. Yeah, oh boy, can I relate to that, Brandy. Sometimes, like when you have really, really active dream states, it's like you don't sleep at all. And a lot of times, especially when we're processing things and we're going through upgrades and activations, our dream states are a lot less like dream states and a lot more like astral projection sometimes. And there's a varying level of how much your subconscious and conscious mind are involved in that process. But so just keep that in mind too, I guess. Oh yeah, I'll change my background. Thank you, Elena. You're on top of it. What would I do without you? And just as a reminder too, I will be posting that transmission on YouTube. So if you decide to subscribe at another time, you can always go back on YouTube and watch any of the live stream replays where we do any subscription-based transmissions, and you can access those at that time. Seratura. My thing is broken now. This is cool. Oh no. Maybe that fixed it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Boom.
All right.
The class, I believe, is at 7:30 Central Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern Time. Waterwind asks, what does the L in your name mean? It's actually quite multidimensional, which is appropriate for me. So my legal name is Tyrell. My human name, which is what I would associate with my lower, my 3D version aspects. I would consider, there's a lot of different associations with L. So L is really represents the idea of service to all. So that's why you'll hear names like Raphael or Michael or those different archangel names, because they're associated with in service to the whole. Some people associate with the idea of a ray of light, but it's what I've assigned to the idea of my collective versions of self. So Ty, I just go by Ty, but Ty-EL, the R is the slashed out because that represents the lower aspects of myself. So if I am channeling aspects of my collective consciousness, which is what my higher selves, we call ourselves Ty-El, that lower aspect is not a part of it. So that tyranny, what else? There's Tyr, which I don't know how to pronounce that, which is associated with war. The TYR is often associated with those negative aspects. So, and then it's all capital because it is an entity. So it's like an idea. It's not a being, an incarnate being. It's my collective aspects of self. I'm deeply connected with Elohim. There's a lot of different aspects to it. Kal-El Superman, right? I love Superman too. Yeah, but that's where they get those ideas too, like Kal-El. It's funny because art, I think we're always channeling. And I know comic books and movies, they're the people that write them, they're either tapped in and aware, or they are definitely channeling and getting this information coming through and not recognizing that it's actually, there's more to it, right? I am, Cody. Send me a message. So Cody asked, will you still be selling coded bracelets? Yes. There's issues with the website, which I intuitively kind of thought there would be because I'm a dingus and I'm new to this stuff. So I'm going to try to fix that as soon as I can. I'm going to try to fix it tomorrow morning. But for now, if you want a bracelet, just shoot me a message and we'll figure all that out. And then that way you can also save some money on tax or whatever too, or whatever that is, so you don't have to, whatever, processing. So you can send me a message that way and we'll figure it. We'll hook you up. Now I can make them by order too. If you want a custom one, we can figure out how to do that. Put whatever intentions you want into them. I'm all buzzed up now, so I apologize. I'm all have those googly eyes. What emotion do we store in our hair? Well, we often store memory, as far as I'm aware. Our hair is it's like our antennas. It's extra sensory, and we store memory in it. So I don't know if we store a specific emotion in the hair. That's a great question, but I know that it does hold memory. So that's why people will, after they've gone through a lot of times they'll shave their head as a way to release all those things. And then also in Buddhism and some other practices, other belief systems, I think they do that as well to represent the idea of releasing attachment too. But that's not my forte. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just as far as I'm aware. Yeah, please do, Debbie. Entire crown is tingling. Yeah, Marlena, I'm all woo-wee. I think I got energy for another group healing, and then I'll probably call it a night. Crystal skulls are cool, are cute. Yeah, they're really cool because they're storage devices. They're a consciousness, you know, and when you, especially when you give it a face, and you know, like it represents a lot more energetically once you make it a skull. What was I thinking? Oh, I wanted to mention this because some people are asking about some of the emotional storage ideas. So 2 books that I would highly recommend. I mean, really 1 book. I mean, this is pretty good. I haven't looked through it too much. This is stuff we'll be talking about in the class, but this book is awesome. It's called Metaphysical Anatomy. The subtitle is Your Body is Talking, Are You Listening? And it goes through the metaphysical sources for a lot of our physical issues. So any disease in the body or conditions or accidents or anything like that, because each part of the body represents something psychosomatic as well. So you can actually reverse, like you can decode what's going on internally by recognizing what's going on externally. And that's one of the ways that I decode things, because like I mentioned before, I don't visualize, I don't have inner sound. So for me, becoming really familiar with the idea that everything outside represents something inside in some way or another, and then really feeling into that to kind of decode it. But yeah, these are really good books on that. I mean, this thick. This got all sorts of stuff in there. Yeah, you should. Elena, I was thinking about that earlier. Hi, Krista. It's good to see you. The room is very light. All right. I'm Ojibwa. I'm sorry, I'm probably totally butchering that. I shouldn't even try to pronounce it. And we cut our hair after loss, death, during times of grief. Yeah, grief. Yes, I've heard of that practice as well. I think it's beautiful, honestly. I think that's a beautiful gesture overall. You know, I feel like we should do those type of ideas more community. Like, I think that's a beautiful gesture. So what would the left elbow be? You know, I don't remember the left elbow. What was that? I mean, I can look. Left would be the feminine side. Let's see, this one's real quick. Toe. I'm actually curious because the elbow, I've actually messed up my left elbow in sports. No, it's not easy to find. I don't want to look forever. Well, I'll put it in the class. I don't need to. I'll add it to the chart. I didn't have elbows on the list. I'll have to put elbows on the list. I'll find it. Where's the preaching from? I'm not sure. The book. There's 2 books that I have here. I have The Secret Language of Your Body, and then Metaphysical Anatomy by Yvette Rose. All right, so let's go ahead and pick another intention here from our list, and we'll see what comes through. So for those that are new in the group, I have received different intentions from those in the group, and we are going to choose one with the pendulum. So there's like different intentions, such as like healing for the eyes, for back pain, releasing fear. I don't really see any activations in here or upgrades or anything, but a lot of stuff that's connected to physical healing. So we are going to allow the pendulum to choose which one, and then everybody in the group that is open to receive can receive healing on that particular intention. Krista says the left elbow has to do with handling and speaking. Interesting. Yeah, that was definitely not in my awareness at all. Very interesting. Well, thank you for that, Krista. Let's do activation. Well, we just did a big activation. We'll see what comes through. We already have a list of stuff. I'm not sure what it means exactly if your hair falls out. I know a lot of times it's associated with stress. When my hair is fallen out, it was definitely stress related. But I'm not sure. Definitely not sure. All right, here we go. Got the pendulum. We'll see what gets picked. I'm getting hungry. Big transmissions always make me hungry. Okay. So this is weight related healing. So I'm assuming this goes either way. So if there are issues like keeping weight on, or weight fluctuation, or overweight, in whatever ways are out of balance, this transmission is for weight. Yep, weight gain, weight loss, whatever is appropriate for you. Hi, Amy. So yeah, so this will assist, whatever's right for you to bring you back into homeostasis. So either weight loss, weight gain, or fluctuations. So with me, I've noted, like I go through periods where I fluctuate in weight a ton. I'll change 100 pounds back and forth. Like, I mean, I'm not joking. And right now I'm actually in a phase where I've been putting on weight, probably gained like 20 pounds in the last, 6 months or something. But usually I fluctuate a lot. I'll go 155 pounds to 260 pounds and back. So I've always been, that's come up into my awareness quite a bit. And it seems to be happening a lot in the collective. I've noticed a lot of people mentioning that they're going through putting on weight, especially healers. We tend to put on extra weight sometimes for the collective to process. So thank you, Chica. All right, so if you're open to this idea, for your highest good only, of course, I would set your own parameters for what you would like to receive. And yeah, we'll see what comes through. So we're just going to go ahead and reaffirm, as always, in the transmission and following the transmission, no harm will be done, no energy will be taken, is not freely given out of love. There will be an alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. And of course, we're only working with organic light and beings that are in service to the law of love, the sacred law of one. Law of love and the sacred law of one. All right. Wait. So just know that these go to the root cause. So obviously there's many different causes for fluctuations in weight, whether unhealthy weight, whether it's little or a lot. Kira guia masati asuti prasita suri waswran tata kurti per ya farda masuti rekena hasarate pashi per kani marakusi kibrato fasabra do veneko do pensi per to kimra kudni mati per to kotariki sita tata tata per paseri tata tata si per kimra tata kibra kudni mar to pasabra da pingera che per che tu re marta per io con raktu kibro tu farro sabra si per kimra to fakana kada ki per kibra kudni mar kosta fa semra ko to pasabra per kana che kuri parto per kosta per kimra kudri che interesting. Wow. Okay, what are the Shivanak? I don't know if anybody is going to feel that on their end, or if this is a personal thing. But definitely feeling some impact in the reproductive organs. Una porta fa sambile passi per chi me la kudare per chi per ti mer sabra kudare pa mi fa to severe to sa ni mate pata kada to wa ko no maro sako to kamat chi ko an chiama
Definitely getting downloads that it's connected to something collectively. So there's something going on at a collective level. Okay, like kind of like for some people, it's like carrying the weight of the collective. A lot of us are healers and light workers and way showers, so we tend to do a lot of things for the collective that is unawakened. So there's some aspect to that. So but it's time to let that go. The main stream collective is starting to wake up more. So over the next few months, the next couple quarters or so, there's going to be a lot of changes apparently that are going to come up to the surface. So people are going to start to begin to process their own things. Sina har what we mana ta fa fa ni mana ta pat sabre kan ya bar ko ne ka de bar ki mo ko ti mar ko che bar ko ne ka de ya ra ni ka de ki ne ki bar ko da bar ta si bar tu pas bar ki bar ko de ti bar pas bar ti bar si ki bar tu pas mar ta ti bar ta pat bar ki ra ya sar ya sa ya ya ma ta ya ta ya ma ta ya se ya ru har ta sa si fra kan na ta. Yeah, it's definitely connected deeply to the sacral and the reproductive organs at a collective level. So I don't know what that's about, but it's connected at a collective level. Kira wanu mana to pana tawa ne merti mana ne biasa pada kusa verti pada ti pada pari farre ne mozze marto passe per kira kira ku te mara ku to pe fari mata mana tiene na ko dare ne mati na giaro ko ne rakti mana e tu ne mara to passa per kira te piace per kira ku te rakti kira ku te mara ku te per ngi per ne pasi para ku te ne per pata en ulta fati per passa per kira te che per ku se fati per kane ko te ki per ko ta kon ti per 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 kira te se per kira ku te mara ku te ne mati kira ku mara ku te ne be ku ne mara ku te che per ta fata passa di per che sapere che kira ku per che katru sapere posso fare per domani che dobbiamo per vedere c'è per sapere da parte per che tu io marta passa per dire che dobbiamo per negozio di ngani muri ancora non mai aro ko pare fiar da passa se a sar tu questo ma non pa tu che ha curo caro che wak me Dio. A lot of heaviness in the heart. I don't think that's coincidence. They wanted me to say heaviness. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a lot of emotion connected to it. Yeah. A lot of burning in the solar plexus. You may
feel that on your end as well. You may release. So if you feel like burps coming up to the surface, allow yourself to release. Allow your body to make micro adjustments if it needs to. If you feel emotions come up to the surface, I highly recommend that you honor those emotions. Yeah, lots of emotion. A lot of it's connected to the reproductive, like the sexuality stuff. So there's trauma connected. Childhood. Emotions from childhood. They hit different. Anger. Quatro meio de grara, nisuruto maricarini, nuaranara, nurimiagai, puruene, awakiai, sande, taere, nere, paretiri, curtiri, amore, telurita, wala rene, curso. Ilania mai siri, ai, l'orto face macoriaua tuena mia shaka non ma via na ruine ana ma vua nome ania kuto pe via wai alio reno animali corcani ne coperto patria che dentro ti parto possa fare per che non per chiwa che prodotto facciamo per per sapatiata tagliata tagliata anche tale da passare per tutti per sapatiamo tutti per tutto fiero tutti per tutti ci per tutto di marto del gavane malato di marto abbiamo ne marto perché era questi per fare ti si biva ti per possa per che ma che per poter che per marto per sapere che per hanno poter che non che per continuare tutto per patata ci per tutti ai marto ci WhatsApp ya qui dopo ci per per sapere che per che non che per per possa ti si che però sembra portare ma devo sapere possa via tu per scegliere per handlu tutto e guardare partire perché si vede che ecco non è mai hanno cosa cosa vuoi vuoto ma parte per di oro per possa partire perché lo che vedi ringere che si era torta da poi crack non gli pare di uso il lungo gas regoliac Gabriel con mia ya Kuro ka Big yo ka
Che però mi lo sorta sia sviarassi andando vorrei pure i manuri dei L'actura shantar chasafia par chefra sandor tufra pisce te. Good. Fine. All right. So with that as well, we're going to use another grounding code. I'm just going to reaffirm to strengthen the grid, your personal grid or your shield, if that's appropriate. All right, beautiful beings. Oh, thank you, Amy. Yes, definitely need some grounding after that. Very intense. No, thank you, Amy. Yeah, that was a deep one. I guess I wasn't really expecting it to come through like that, but it makes sense. I don't know what I expected, but yeah. So it makes a lot of sense why I was experiencing certain things in the beginning and how it worked through. So yeah. Yeah, I definitely didn't, Amy. I didn't. I'm a dingus. I'm kind of ignorant, but Mimi, it's my pleasure. Honestly, it's a group. We're all part of that process. So it's not just me. We're all part of the group field, and we are all doing our own healing. There's it's not like I'm doing the healing. So I'm honored to be part of your design to have that experience take place, because that's a really intimate co-creation to do together. So I feel honored to be part of that process. So thank you. I would do it all day, every day, if I could. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Jen says, I released my dad who passed during COVID. Lots of anger and openness. Yeah, the anger definitely came through. I wasn't expecting anything, but it made sense. And it's interesting because we were talking earlier that I don't usually have to process the emotions anymore, right? The emotions don't come up to the surface like they used to all the time. And again, I spoke a little too soon, as always. Of course, whenever I talk about things like that, there's always a reason. So the fact that came up, I was almost like, wait, am I really going to have to process these emotions? And I'm like, yeah. Thank you, Carmen. Hi, Hannah. Welcome. Raquel says, I would love to meet you at the beach for a session. Do you ever do in-person sessions? Yes. Well, I just moved to Mississippi. So it's funny that you said that. I was like, have I mentioned that aloud? Because I actually want to do healings out at the beach around here. I don't know if people are even open or into the idea of energy healing, but I want to set up a little like canopy on the beach when it's a little bit cooler. It's a little bit too hot right now, and then just seeing who would want to try it out, or if people want to do sessions. Since I don't have a shop like back in Washington, I was able to do in person. I had a space for it, but here I don't have that yet. So if people are open to that idea, I'm down for trying those things out. Do you remember what you say in light language? Not exactly, Martha. So it's more like
it's more like frequency. So the sounds that I make, I know they sound like languages sometimes, but it's mostly about the frequency. So if you were to be in spirit, let's say if you were to be on a plant medicine or something, the sounds are going to sound way different. And it's more about the energetic, the vibration of it, the frequency of the language. Sometimes it's like code, sometimes it's literally just the sounds, sometimes it's neither, and it's like a shortcut for, kind of like the idea of like a spell. Sometimes it is translatable, so it really varies. Oh, you live in Mississippi as well? Awesome. Hi. Oops. Sorry, I messed up. If I missed your comments, I am sorry. I just messed up my chat. I was trying to scroll back up. Do the business as you go with it. Yeah, I mean, this is new territory. I was up in Washington State before, and I had an amazing community up there. I would do fairs and all sorts of stuff. So I haven't quite like put myself out there yet down here. I've been going through my own initiations and healing process. It's been whooping my ass since I moved here. So hopefully that lets up a little bit and I can extend myself some more, because I really wanted to be part of the community. I think that's a huge part of this type of work for all of us, is to get together in the physical. It's great to be over social media and connect in this way, but to do it in person is really where we can start to make massive changes. Laguna, awesome. Yeah, I want to do Heels on Wheels. So that's like one of my goals, is to do Heels on Wheels, where I have either like, I don't know, like an RV or something, or even like a big, I don't know, something, and travel around the country and offer healings. I want to go to like big cities, and go downtown and just set up like free energy healing. If anybody wants to give it a shot, because you never know who's going to come by and be open to it, and just have people experience the magic firsthand. And because I know how impactful that can be if you're new to this stuff, or you don't believe, and you have an experience where you actually get to, it can change your life. If you don't think this woo-woo stuff is real, and then you sit down in a chair, or you stand there and your pain goes away, or you have a profound experience, you get activated, like that changes your life forever. And I would love to be a part of that process as much as possible. So I need to make like a GoFundMe or something. 1111. Yeah, I want to do Heels on Wheels. I mean, there's so many different ways I could do it too. Like, I don't have to have like a big fancy like RV or something to do healings in, because I move around a lot when I do my healings in person. It's a little bit different than if I do them online. So I can travel to places and then do healings at locations, like set up canopies or whatever, or at like certain spots. But I also can go around and do in-person healings for people. So if people actually want to book a session, because I'm sure I have to make money somehow. Hey, I'm leaving it open. If the resources drop in my lap, I will do it for free. Like, I would love to do it for free. That would be great. But for ways to make gas money or something, we can do in-person sessions, because doing them in person is really, it's cool. We do almost all of the sessions remotely, but it would still be really cool to go and visit people too, like along the route, stop and be like, oh, I live in Arizona, come by and we'll do a session. That'd be fun. Debbie says, I feel pounds lighter energetically, a lot of release. Thank you. Beautiful. Congratulations. Many of my clients tell me their massage was life-changing. I guarantee it, Alexandra, especially if you're aware of all this energy stuff, you're tapped in, you're activated. When you work with people, massage is magical. When you can actually physically manipulate and work with energy and physicality together, like that's where I'm really like, for me to get my next steps of healing is really the physical aspects, and getting back into the physical aspects and working with the body and the nervous system physically. Because yeah, I would love to just be able to hack everything this way, but I'm not learning my lessons that way. Like, I mean, it'd be great. I could just hack the whole, just cheat the whole way, but no, I have to go figure out how to compensate for where I'm not putting in the work. I would love to go to Northern California. I want to go all around, man. I should just put together, Elena, let's try to put together a plan. Let's put together a strategy to see if we can maybe like a plan for it, and then we can reach out to maybe find some sponsors. We can make or like a GoFundMe and sponsors. There's got to be a way for us to make it happen, because I'm sure it'll happen. Yeah, Florida's not too far away. Do a couple of gigs with musicians. Yeah, I've actually was considering doing it. I wanted to travel with festivals and stuff. I think that would be a ton of fun. Go to festivals, and as more and more people are like waking up to this stuff, like there's gonna be need for energy workers at big festivals and stuff, because I guarantee you, if you had a wizard at your festival, I can go there, I can put up structures, I can keep all the nasty things off people, I can do activations and set up a little booth and do healings, and like I do that anyway when I go to festivals. I just for fun, anybody that wants to experience it. But like as a service, people would love that. Imagine being on a bunch of like performance enhancing medicines and people getting to experience it for the first time. I mean, I would love that. A blood mobile and repaint it, heals on wheels. Yeah, definitely. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. All right, beautiful souls. I love you so much. I think I'm tapped out for the night. I'm just gonna do one more plug real quick. So we have that class on Sunday. It is really about practical energy healing. So I'm going to be sharing my like philosophy on healing, kind of like overall like energy healing 101, the foundational things to be aware of. And then I'm going to go into the tools and techniques that I utilized when I started out that really helped me tap into more of like my gifts. So a lot of feeling-based energy healing techniques, but there's going to be a ton of different healing techniques. So some of these energy healing techniques I haven't heard anybody else talk about. That doesn't mean that other people don't do it. I just haven't heard other people talk about them. And so we'll do energy or feeling-based ones. There's going to be imagination-based ones that we, that utilize more magic. There's some that utilize more of the stars, working with the constellations. There's, it's a Zoom, so it's interactive. You can introduce yourself and you can ask questions. We're just trying to make it fun, but it's going to come with a PDF too. So I will deliver a PDF to you that has all of the, the outline for it and all the information, so you can refer back to it. And of course, it's going to be recorded too. So it says it's for 2.5 hours, but we don't know how long it's going to actually be. So we're just going to play it by ear. We're going to have fun with it. Oh, I forgot. There's going to be an activation, a big healing and activation at the beginning of it too. So the activation is really designed to start to just organically bring out your inner healer in whatever ways that are most natural and organic for you, right? Because we all have different gifts, and you already have all that you need already inside of you. So the activation is to help bring that up to the surface. So be aware that those things are going to be coming up in your reality. You might just get epiphanies and want to go to a bookstore and see a book that is just right for you, and just to help bring those synchronicities up into your reality, so you can tap into your own beautiful flavor of energy healing magic. So if you're interested in that stuff, all the details are in the link in the bio, or islingmagic.com. You can go to islingmagic.com, or you send me a message or anything like that, but you should be able to get it right up into a couple hours or so, a few hours before the event starts. So, but I love y'all so much, and just as a reminder, I'm going to be posting this tomorrow, the live tomorrow, on YouTube, so you can go back and you can watch the transmission again if you want, and it can go deeper into these layers. I would suggest to try to do the transmission 3 times within a month period. That specific Lionsgate transmission that we did tonight, it's not necessary, but it can only help really kind of help with the alchemy of the activation. But follow your intuition, do what feels right for you. And you can always reach out to me if you have questions or anything you want to share. Anyway, I love you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much to the new subscribers and all the subscribers. It means the world to me that we are exchanging energy in that way, and we're part of this fun collective, because there's a lot of magic stuff that happens. So you might notice that in dream states too, out in the astral. And thank you to everybody's gifted, and thank you to my beautiful moderators that do so much work because I'm a weirdo. I'm sure I get so many trolls and such. But we do good. They're good. The fly swatters are amazing. The moderators are amazing. But I love you. I think that's it. Anything else? I think that's it. All right. I love you. Kusandi prasiti artasasi asiwe murita kana hata kiaro kuotu artasi fiambo ire jere yardi da sandarta si fiambo di pangor kuara rata artise frasi murata. I love you. Bye. Kuto payandare tiara.